I just cleaned my golf club out of a puddle. That's pretty good. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the worst tips and golf swing advice that I still hear about, and maybe it's just my perspective. That's fine. I'm going to talk about some of the worst, or maybe the most overrated ones that I still hear all the time. Winter time, so I guess they put out winter mats, which is nice because it's better than hitting off the mud. The first swing tip that I think is super overrated, maybe misunderstood, but I'm no swing coach, so take it with a grain of salt. It is thinking that your head moving, keep your head still, keep your head down, moving your head is the reason why you hit the shot poorly. That was not my target. It's a good shot though. Just like most swing tips that you hear online and you watch these swing videos and it's gonna instantly fix your swing, well, it's not. And the reason why is most of us don't know why we're doing something in the first place that is ruining our swing, such as lifting your head up. Lifting your head up in the swing is usually a symptom of something else. It could be I'm flipping at impact. It could be my leg is there, I'm stuck, whatever it is. But the point is, it's not the reason why you are not making good impact or you topped the ball or shanked it. But it's just an easy excuse. It's an easy scapegoat on why you messed up your contact in the first place. And it's the thing, most people, when they give advice, they'll say, oh, you lifted your head up. That's not the fucking reason. Oh, through the tree. 90% air, baby. The most swing videos you should really take with a grain of salt. Maybe see what works for you, but don't take it as gospel as this is the fix for me. You need to know, why am I doing something wrong in the first place? What a chip. Oh, it's so wet. Similar to the trend of YouTube and Instagram talking about shallowing the golf club. Super overrated. You could say, well, it's for better contact, or you could say, well, it's to hit a draw, go in and out. But most of the shallowing moves are seemingly pretty unnecessary and very uncomfortable, at least for me. If you look at some of the pros that are hitting it very well, like Scotty right now, he's not shallow at all. Not like the Instagram golfers that you see that are taking it up here and shallowing it, swinging it around their body. Prime Tiger Woods is not shallow at all either. So is it really necessary? I think it's pretty overrated, and most people don't really know why we would need to shallow it in the first place. It's just a very good trending topic right now. Oh, that's really good. Oh, short. I mean, it's on, but it's still pretty. Have you ever seen the tips or heard people talking about how if you look at the stats on the PGA Tour, if you are 40 yards, away from the hole, it's equivalent as being 100 yards out in terms of accuracy. And then they take the meaning of that as, okay, I should grip it and rip it so I could be 40 yards away. But from my understanding and my logic, that means I need to be 60 yards closer in that numbers. I don't know the exact numbers, but I need to be 60 yards closer if I'm in the rough to be equivalent to being 100 yards away in the fairway. If you're closer to the hole, you're gonna do better, right? So the bomb and gouge method, I'm gonna make a whole video on that, but does it work for pros? Yes, because they know every single lie and they know how to hit out of the rough. For us, we want to look at it as I am just as accurate as I would be 60 yards ahead if I'm in the fairway versus, maybe 100 yards out in the rough. Now, most of our roughs that we're playing is not gonna be as well manicured as the pros, but it's also not gonna be as deep. So what we want to really prioritize is, how do I be in the fairway so I can be more accurate and less unpredictability than if I was in the rough. That was so bad. Terrible. Now let's imagine it's summertime and the rough is thick and there's a lot more unpredictability. That means I gained nothing over a guy being 50 yards back, or whatever the number is, 50 yards back in the fairway. Right? But I only introduced the risk of going out of bounds. Now the reward would be, if I'm in the fairway, I have a higher chance of getting a birdie, or at least a par, from up here in the fairway versus back there. But I'm not in the fairway. And for us amateurs, we are probably more likely to hit it out of bounds, gripping and ripping it, versus if I club down or swing easier and smoother and just try to land it in the fairway. So I'm bragging about hitting it way past my friends into another zip code, and then we end up getting the same score. Why? Because I'm in the rough, and I have to now take into accountability of, all right, well, what is the rough going to do? Is this a fly? Is it going to choke up my club? Is it going to reduce spin? Is it going to pop up in the air? I have a lot more unpredictability and unknown than if I was in the fairway where I'm just like, all right, just hit the ball. Why make golf harder for yourself if you don't need to? These greens are probably rolling at like a 6. Oh, whoa, I lied. Maybe they're rolling at a 13. What the hell was that? Another bad piece of advice and tip that I see a lot of golfers do when I play with them is when it comes to your short game. So let's intentionally miss the green here. Perfect. When it comes to short game, we watch a lot of, maybe we get a lot of our short game knowledge from watching really good players on YouTube, or the pros talk about the short game. And they usually are chipping with like a 60 degree. But then they will talk about how I'm going to open the face. But the reason why us normal people don't really want to maybe use a very high lofted club like this 60 degree or even open the club face especially is because, one, you need more speed to hit the distance that you need to hit. And what happens when us amateurs use more speed in the swing? Well, we thin it over the green. And if we don't have enough speed, well, then I'm going to end up leaving this short. You should learn how to swing normally with like a 54 or 56. And if you use 60, just swing normally. You don't need to open it, and you need to swing with confidence. But most of us probably lack confidence with our short game, especially when the lies are different. Well, now I'm introducing more risk for error because the ball is below my feet now. So now it's going to come out to the right. And now there's little patches of grass that I need to take into account. So now I really need enough speed, I need enough confidence, and I need enough good contact with the ball to, one, not slide right under the ball, and two, not thin the ball over the green, and three, even land it somewhere in the proximity of the hole. So it's just introducing way too much unnecessary stress for us than needed. Well, now we're over the green, see? Now let's talk to the slicers out there. Now, a big advice or big solution that you will see people that slice the ball tend to do is, if I slice the ball, well, what I'm gonna do is aim more left. And you don't wanna do that because, well, that's the reason why you are slicing it in the first place, kind of. If I am a slicer of the ball, now I'm aiming left at that tree. What do I not wanna do? I don't wanna hit that tree. So what do I need to not do to hit that? Well, I need to really hit a slice. Before, I'm unintentionally hitting a slice. I want to hit this ball straight, but a slice is coming out because I'm swinging over the top and my club face is open. So now that I'm aiming this way, what I need to do is I need to really swing over the top and really open my club face. So it's not a fix, you are just reinforcing the slice. What you need to do is swing more to the right, because that's going to encourage less open club face and less swinging over the top. The other thing that happens for people that are swinging, that have a slice, is they'll hit it dead straight. Now, the reason for that is if I am aiming my body more to that tree, but the fairway is over that way, I am mixing my signals of where is this ball going to go. And now I'm changing my swing as opposed to doing my normal swing. And that was smoked. Another piece of advice in addition to that is stop swinging over the top. Well, swinging over the top is not a bad thing. It's just how much am I swinging over the top relative to my club face. Now, of course, you will lose a lot of power by swinging too far over the top, but that's more of a swing issue, swing mechanic issue than a swinging over the top issue. You can easily swing too far in to out and get stuck. Swinging over the top is fine. If that's your natural swing, do it. You just really need to work on where is my club face in relation to my over the swing top. I wish I could play a fade nowadays. I know I just hit a fade, but I used to love playing a fade, and now it really is a challenge for me to hit a fade because I've been in my head too much about swinging in to out. So now I really need to consciously swing over the top, and now I'm, anyway. The point is, you are allowed to swing over the top. I was not over the top enough. See, I needed to swing more over the top there because I needed to hit a big old fade around this tree. Another big one is you are allowed to hit down on the ball with your driver. It is okay. The ball won't blow up. You won't blow up. Your driver will not explode. Tiger Woods, Brooks Koepka, they hit down on the ball with their driver, and they're really fucking good. We don't need to hit up on a driver as much as we think we do. In fact, it's probably hurting most of us more than it's actually helping. Now, the reason why you don't hit down on a driver is because it adds more spin to your ball when you do that. However, when you hit up on it, you add less spin, the ball goes further. However, the ball goes further in left and right direction potentially. And if you don't have enough spin on it, well, then the ball is going straight left and it's not going to go anywhere. So hitting down on your ball adds more spin and adds more control, which is what most of us need when we're using our driver. We need to keep the ball in play rather than hitting it further. And then over time, we can learn how to take off a little bit more spin. But for a lot of people, my friends included, they will get up and they will lean so far back because they're trying to hit up on it. And now you're either thinning the ball or your swing feels weird or looks weird because you're doing a lot of things just to hit up on the ball. Instead, you can hit your driver like an iron and be okay. There's nothing illegal about it. You won't get arrested. Now that was a little exaggerated, but look at that. That's perfect. It's in the fairway. Another dumb piece of advice that is overrated is your driver is more important than your short game. And it's dumb for many reasons because, well, one of the main reasons is your driver is only more important for amateurs because they hit it out of bounds so often. If you stop hitting it out of bounds, you'll realize that your short game is even more essential than ever. Now let me explain a little bit more. There we go. You and I, as the average golfer, we're not going to improve our score that much by hitting better tee shots unless we're chronically hitting it out of bounds. That's the only way that your score is going to drop pretty drastically, is if you chronically hit it out of bounds versus not. However, your score will improve dramatically if you get better with your short game. If you were guaranteed to always hit the green from within 100 yards, that's an incredible stat that you would want. That's an incredible short game that we want. Most of us are going to miss the green, and we're going to be around the green somewhere for our third shot. But how many times and how confident do you feel with being able to get up and down from around the green? If you got up and down from around the green 90% of the time, your scores would be amazing. However, if I hit my driver 300 yards every single time, my scores would drop, but my green regulations ain't really changing that much. I got 60 yards here. How many times can I hit the green from this distance? Can't even hit it the first time. But if I was guaranteed to hit it within 12 feet, well, then my score would be amazing. But that's not within 12 feet. I mean, how confident do you feel that I can get up and down from here? And this is very close. So if I don't feel confident that I can get up and down from here, that goes to show that I need to work on my short game more than I need to work on my tee shot. Because my tee shot could go 200 yards, go 250 or 300. If I end up here, that doesn't matter. Oh, I thought I was gonna chip it in. So now I left myself with 10 footers, right? Versus if I did something a little bit more, closer, if I had a short game a little bit more like this, that was a little too aggressive. But if I had a better short game, well, then those are all tap-ins. Ultimately, nothing should be taken as gospel for your golf advice. Everything should be tailored towards you and take what is relevant to your issues with your golf game and throw away the rest. Most golf swing tips, I want to say you could probably toss unless you know why am I doing this problem. And then you can look up something specific to fixing that problem, not somebody that is always trying to generate more content on this is the swing tip, because the more we change our swing, the more errors we introduce, and it's just a bad spiral. Even my advice, you don't have to listen to my advice and it doesn't work for you. That was so bad. Terrible swing. What a way to end it.